Hello everybody, today I'm going to review another overhyped game that turned out to be mediocre, Mario Kart 8. Now I've heard a lot about this game, especially as the game's been hyped up, especially as the Wii U's Last of Us, the Wii U's Killzone, the Wii U's Battlefield, that game that would show off the Wii U, hey, the Wii U's a next-gen system, and not some old system that is based off of PowerPC G3. The problem is, however, this is one of the worst Mario Karts I've played. Maybe slightly better than Mario Kart Wii, but that's not much. And this game is a major rehash. And before I start the review, let me just say this. I don't hate Mario Kart because Mario Kart Double Dash is a fun game. It's a lot better than this game. And why? Well, let's start the review, shall we? Oh, and another funny thing. When I got into my car after I rented this game at Family Video, Korn started playing on the radio. Maybe that was a sign of things to come because this game is flat out terrible. You get a few modes when it comes to single player. You get Grand Prix, VS Race, Time Trials, and Battle Mode. So let me start with the race mode and get into the core mechanics of the game. The game is a lot like Mario Kart 7. In fact, it could be the same game very well. You pick your customizations and then your character and then you go into a race after waiting like 20 seconds for the game to load, because this game has some pretty longish load times, especially for a next-gen game that's supposed to show off the Wii U's true potential and prove it is not indeed a PowerPC-based G3 console with a slow disk drive and iffy graphics. But anyways, the gameplay in this game, let me talk about that first. The gameplay in this game is flat out broken. While there is coins from Mario Kart 7, and while it feels a lot like Mario Kart 7, there are a few things you cannot do in this game. For example, drifting has been neutered from Mario Kart Double Dash. Remember in Mario Kart Double Dash when you could move the analog stick back and forth like 1 or 2 times and you could be drifting? In this game, drifting, you have to move it a ton of times just to even get to the red flames, because it starts out as the blue flames and then goes to the red flames. So you have to move your stick back and forth, 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 just to do a drift. They've made it an absolute pain, and it's been neutered. Another thing you cannot do in this game is hold a shell like you could in the older Mario Karts. Remember in the older Mario Karts when you could hold a shell and it would clear the item slot? Notice how when I did that red shell, when I use the red shell and when I use other items in the game, such as the green shell, when I hold them behind me, it stays in the item slot, so you cannot pick up another item like you could in older Mario Karts. From what I can tell, the same applies, I think, to the 3-shell power-up in the game, too. The anti-gravity stuff is a gimmick just like the flying and the water thing. I mean, sure, it makes your wheels turn like the car in Back to the Future, but other than that, it does really nothing. I mean, it controls the same. It just looks cool for a trailer. And that's about it, really, because the courses still feel the same. It does not feel different than the other Mario Karts whatsoever, other than the fact that this game has been watered down, too. Oh, and another thing about this game, did I mention that even though the blue shell's been neutered because of the AI's overuse of it, you'll still see the AI use it a ton. And trust me, if you accidentally hit yourself with your own power-up, which can happen a lot, especially as the power-up system, like I said, is kind of screwy in this game, even if you accidentally hit yourself with your own shell, then, well, you're basically screwed because the AI will literally just jump up on you because the rubber banding AI is still here. Now, and they also use items a lot, too. And this happens a lot in the game, and it can get frustrating. However, it's also kind of easy, as on 100cc, which this was all I could play because the game got about as boring as doing your math homework, I managed to want first place everyone in this before literally getting bored and like, why am I playing this? This is too easy. At least the driving controls were okay, except for the removal of drifting, but remember, drifting is a big thing if you've played Mario Kart Double Dash or the other Mario Karts. So yeah, this isn't really a good sign right here. Now it's time for me to talk about the graphics. Since I've already nailed the gameplay, it's not only samey, but a step back. Let me talk about the graphics now. The graphics look bleh. Now, they look like you just took an average 360 game from like 2006 and added even more bloom. Many models in this game do not have a lot of polygons, and if you look closely, it will show. And the game is nowhere near technically impressive. This is not the Wii U's Last of Us. This is not the Wii U's Battlefield 4. This is not the Wii U's Forza 5. This is not one of those games to show, hey, welcome to next gen. This is one of those games that feels and plays last gen. And keep in mind, I'm saying this because Mario Kart 8 was supposedly hyped up as a 1080p 60 FPS game by many people and magazines which posted the same misinformation as Nintendo never confirmed it. The game actually runs in 720p. Now, this wouldn't be so bad, but the problem is not only does the game have tons of bloom and that, but it looks horrible because of the anti-aliasing. There is no anti-aliasing whatsoever in this game. And while most games would have it on a flat panel, you'll see jaggies on a standard definition TV, which is what I also played the game on, which I hooked it up to just to see what it would look like. It looked like a PS3 game, as in there are jaggies everywhere and it looks flickery. It just looks bad. And keep in mind, this is supposed to be a next-gen game. Stages are bland and generic, and other than the fact that the game has loads of bloom effect, it's just not fun to play at all whatsoever. And the intense bloom along with the lack of anti-aliasing makes the game even worse to look at. So while you're struggling with the bizarre drifting system, you'll notice that the game looks like Mario Kart 7 Acid Rave Party Edition with jaggies and flicker if you're on a standard definition TV. And jaggies if you're on an HD TV. The music, bland and forgettable. I mean, I'd rather listen to that Korn song, Freak on a Leash, that came on the radio than listen to the game music, because the game music in this game, you'll instantly forget it. It's just that blah. And I'm not making this up here. The game music in this game, I forgot all the tunes in this game the second after I played it, because it's that forgettable. Now that I've talked about the racing, let's get into battle mode, since battle mode is a trademark of the Mario Kart series. I mean, you can't mess up battle mode after Mario Kart 7. You'd think they'd improve after Mario Kart 7 had its battle mode with the time limit and pretty much infinite balloons. But no. They went another step back. While the other Mario Karts had more battle modes, this Mario Kart is literally a looped track. I wish I was joking, but no. This Mario Kart is Balloon Battle on a looped track with the same rules as Mario Kart 7. I mean, look at this when it loads. And also look at the balloons and how many polygons there are. But Jesus, this is what Mario Kart has gone to. Balloon Battle being to the point where now it's on a looped track and not the square track where it's a lot more fast-paced. Just know, it doesn't work that way. I mean, just when you think Mario Kart can't take any more steps back, it does. That's all I have to say on this. Really, there's no point in this. It gets boring quickly, especially because it takes you a while to run into an opponent. And there's blue shells in it too, did I mention? Yes, blue shells in battle mode. That is all. And now let's talk about the online multiplayer, since Mario Kart 8 is supposed to be the flagship Wii U game. And keep in mind, Nintendo did state that they were going to make a better online service. So have they finally done it, or is it still stuck in the past? Let's find out by actually playing it. Mario Kart 8 features a very primitive online system. You can select your friends, but you cannot invite them. You have to create a room first and then invite them. You can also not invite friends while you're in a lobby. You have to create a room first to do this. And keep in mind, this is a 2014 online game. This is not something you'd find on a Dreamcast. This is a 2014 online game. And that's what it has. The ranking system is the exact same as the old Mario Karts, with the VR points being used, where if you win or lose, it bumps them up or down. Searching for players takes a while. And keep in mind, this is a modern video game which is taking a while to search for players. This is the kind of stuff you'd expect to see on Halo 2 for the original Xbox, not on a modern Wii U game, which is supposed to have improved online experience, and yet it still feels like a Nintendo Wii game when it comes to matchmaking. After it searches for players, you are just like the old Mario Karts, which were recent that is, you're dropped into a lobby where you wait for people to finish their race, which can be boring and can take a while. Once you're done waiting for your Wii U to find a lobby after picking players from all over the world, which gives you the worst possible connection, you are then thrown into a lobby of just the random people while it waits for people to pick a course, and then it does the same roulette thing where it cycles through and just picks a random one. Unlike, let's just say, Call of Duty or other games which implement the vote system where you vote for this course, and instead of randomly spinning the wheel, it picks the one most people voted for. The game does feature communication in the lobby. However, instead of voice chat, you get as much communication as you do in Internet Checkers for Windows XP. You can press the B button, choose from a pre-selected message, because this is all you can do in a 2014 online game, and keep in mind the Wii U is not incapable of voice chat, and once you pick a generic message to send, you can send it, and it's only a bunch of pre-selected messages. You can't tell people anything you want because, I don't know. Because, seriously, this is a 2014 online game and it lacks that. There's also no inviting friends to your lobby, too. You have to start a lobby first. And keep in mind, like I said, this is a 2014 online game. And did I mention it's unbalanced, too? You'll constantly get dropped in with pros who, even though they have 1,000... It's no different than when Titanfall had its own matchmaking theme where it would drop you a level like 10 or 20 in with like 5th, 6th prestiges or whatever it's called in that game. But still, this can be very frustrating if you just want a laid-back online experience with no voice chat. You'll still be angry when you get into a lobby which is unbalanced and has people who are way ahead of you. I can't tell if it's because of lag or if it's because they've somehow mastered the broken controls. I have no idea. But either way, it's just bleh. And not just that, but unbalanced too. This is not fun, especially if you want a fun online experience. It's primitive, bare bones, with no connection indicators whatsoever. And this is a 2014 game. This is not a Wii game. This is a Wii U game. You would have thought Nintendo would have learned, but it seems in many ways Nintendo still hasn't learned. What are my final thoughts on this game, of course? This game is crap. Seriously, it is a major step back from games such as Double Dash or Mario Kart DS. It plays horribly, it's not fun, and of course, did I even mention that with this game you've got, well, it feels stuck in the past, especially with its online system. All in all, I'd avoid this game, unless you can get it for $5 on sale. If you can't get it for $5 on sale or rent it, don't buy this game. And if you want fun with your friends, go buy a GameCube for real cheap or something, because GameCubes are only $30 now, and get a copy of Double Dash. Or if you have a Wii, you can just get a copy of Double Dash and play it on there. Because did I even mention that this game runs 30 frames per second with 4 people on screen, while Mario Kart, while the GameCube one runs 60? And did I even mention that this game has micro stutter and has heavy compression artifacts when you play it on the gamepad? Yeah, enough said. Don't buy this game. Please save your money and go buy better games. I mean, Mario Kart Double Dash, that game is a lot better than this game. And did I mention it's the only Mario Kart where you can do 8 players with 2 GameCubes, unlike Mario Kart Wii, where you have to do it online? That is all. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.